things were thawing out nicely around here. Everything was starting to melt pretty good. And then yesterday, we got a couple inches of snow. And so I'm coming back here to the woodyard now, and I'm a little worried about what I'm going to find, because I want to uncover some of my stacks of wood. I noticed that I had a little failure in the covering of the tarp. So I'm thinking I'm not going to like what I find when I go to look at this, and it's going to be a bit of a mess to clean up. And I can already tell just from right here, it's going to be a mess. All right, so these are the main stacks that I want to start pulling off of here in the spring and into the summer. And what happened, I had this completely tarped. And at some point, the wind blew the tarp off. So all of this was covered with snow, but it's now actually melting away pretty good. The problem is that tarp has got a whole bunch of water in it. Let's go take a look. And see, this is the one thing I want to avoid, or I wanted to avoid with the tarps, is that I know people go back and forth on this, whether or not to cover your wood in the winter or just leave it uncovered. But what I find is, like what happens now, so this snow melts and then this water will go down in there and work its way through this pile. And all of this wood is not gonna see sunlight, because the sunlight is only gonna hit the top. You can see where the sunlight's hitting right now. So it's not gonna get down in there and dry that stuff out. And you can just see where the water, well, I think you can anyway, but this wood right here is all darker. All that water melted and ran down. And like I said, this is going to be the problem I have on this whole stack. So let's go take a look if I can climb up here without dropping the camera. All right. So I have a big chunk of ice there, and then you see what happened. I had my stacks a little too far apart. Snow got down in there. Over here, same thing. I just ripped the tarp. But over there, in between the stacks, there's snow. But this big, before this ice melts and this all becomes water, I need to get this out of here. That, and then I need to get this whole entire tarp off this pile and let it start getting some sun and some wind and hopefully dry things out. I can already see over there, I think a bunch of water ran down between those stacks. So real quick, just let me know down in the comments, if you store firewood over winter, do you cover it with something like a tarp or a shelter, or do you leave it out in the open for the snow to just, fall on top of it and then melt off in the spring? Let me know down in the comments. Oh yeah, this is not good. The tarp is ripped, and this chunk of ice is a lot bigger than I thought. Let me get the small stuff off. Woo! It's cold. Just what I did not want to happen. all of the water is running down this hole in the tarp now. And look at the size of this piece of ice. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna launch this baby. Ah! So this is the thing that's giving me problems because it's froze in to the tarp. But I really need to get this off of here. So let me see if I can get oh my gosh. There's another chunk of ice. Just so here you can see underneath the tarp, this was all wet. This is wet back here. So this does need to get uncovered and a chance to dry out. But this piece of ice was way down between this stack. You can see down there how wet it is. There's water dripping. Ah! And now this is frozen. So my plan is going to be to take this and try to pull it that way and just get this off the pile. If I roll this side up to kind of keep that water in there. Ah! Oh no! It's going down the hole here! It's going down between the tarp, or between the rows. See, that's the problem. You probably can't see that, but all right, I gotta get this off of here. Well, I kind of covered this stack of my boiler wood up with those big panels that I had from that pallet. So I've got 4 of those, and that's what I'm thinking of building and using to shelter future storage. But there it is. There is what I need more of. I need more sheltered, covered storage. Oh, I even, yeah, so I have 4 more of those panels right there that I just set on top of that little stash. Even something just like that. Just, you know, keep the snow off, keep the rain off, and not have to rely on tarps. Yeah, so a little bit of a failure in the woodyard here with the winter storage. But you know what they say, if you don't fail, you're not trying. So, as I said before, a lot of you have told me tarps just aren't the way to go, and prime example of that right here. So what I think I might do now is I'll leave these things uncovered for the next week. We're supposed to have pretty decent weather, sunny. We're even supposed to hit 60 tomorrow. Hopefully get a little wind blowing, but next week we are supposed to have, there's a chance of rain. So what I might do is take those panels that I have and just lay those on top of these stacks as best I can. You know, overlap them, so if there is any rain, it will just run off the side. And then I'll take a look at how this stuff is. Hopefully it's not too bad, too damaged, doesn't get too moldy, and I'm still able to sell it. But I need to just get some type of, you know, shelter, even if it's just temporary with those panels, and then eventually you know, build something like that over there and have a little better storage over winter for the spring thaw and then the spring May showers or April showers. The April showers and all through the summer. I mean, it would be nice to have this wood where I don't have to worry about the rain getting on it. And I'm just worried some of this stuff is not going to be looking very good. I think it's going to have a lot of that black mold on it. And oh well, we'll see what happens. If it's not good enough to sell, it will end up in the fire pit for Friday Night live streams. So thanks for watching and see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.
I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light.